Welcome back to another Schizospiracy, the Maga Burrito Hour, number 6. It's that time of the month. Good to see everyone. Welcome everyone in the chat and any moderators and channel members out there. And to anyone that's listening to the replay, thanks for joining us. We're coming to you live on YouTube and X and also on Juan's channels as well. A Clockwork Shining is now available on Tubi. So anywhere you can download the Tubi app, you can now watch my documentary, A Clockwork Shining, on Tubi. So even if you've seen it already, watch it again on Tubi. I have the link pinned to the top of the chat and is also in the description. Please watch it again to help support future projects. Really help us out. And now, introducing our co-host of the Schizospiracy, the Maga Burrito Hour, host of the One-on-One podcast, the one, the only, One Ayala. What's going on, brother?
What's up, dude? Happy to be here. I gotta get that sound, the tornado siren sound on my soundboard. So as soon as I pop on, as soon as I get on there, what's up, dude?
This is Frankie doing the tornado sound. Dude, I died. I died when I heard that, bro. He's still doing them too. He still makes a tornado siren video every once in a while. That's his biggest hit, bro. He's got like millions of views on that video.
Prolific tornado siren guy of all time, dude. You know how it is, man.
I love him, dude. I love him so much. So what's going on in the world, bro? What's going on in the world?
I don't know if you want to talk about Conor McGregor's huge schlong, or if you want to talk about the old Jeffrey files, or if you want, I don't know, where are we going, dude? What have you been looking into? Where are you feeling it? I want to make a shirt, make conspiracies great again, right? Because I don't know, dude, everything's been kind of shady lately.
It's been shady for a couple of years now, bro. What happened with Conor McGregor? Did a photo get leaked, or did he post?
Apparently he DM'd some chick, and then it was just straight up like, typical dick pic, and he's packing, bro. Like, that's the first thing I saw on Twitter yesterday or something when it first came out. It's like, oh, there's Conor McGregor's dick on my timeline. Appreciate that, dude. Right? So they're obviously trying to distract us from the truth, bro. And they're leaking Conor McGregor's huge schlong on our timelines to take us away from the truth. And it's working.
It is working. I'm very distracted by that, but I wasn't even aware of that. Do you remember Drake? Drake did the same thing. The same thing happened to Drake, that whole thing. And then some other, Tommy Lee. No, Tommy Lee just posted the photo. He was like, screw this. It's not even going to leak. I'm just going to post it straight up on my timeline. Yeah, drummer for Motley Crue.
Oh, I'm not that white, bro. So
come on, bro. You're more white than even a white guy, bro.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but I did see the Drake one, and they're all packing. So maybe that's something with the elites, right? They all have huge schlongs because they're homunculus, and that's a byproduct of being this alchemical creation. But who knows, right? But yes, I did see McGregor's thing on my timeline, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. I know the hot one right now is the flip-flopping of the of the government when it came to the files, right? Did you ever see, what I caught on my videos was yesterday, because obviously this whole thing is popping off, but apparently there was a video shortly after, I guess, it was shut down. This video is about a month old when I saw it yesterday. It was of the inside of the library, allegedly on Epstein Island. Have you seen that, where there was like some messages, like some cryptic messages on the, like, this whiteboard that he had there? Have you seen that video?
I haven't seen that video, but I know that the island is like for sale or something. They're trying to like sell the island.
If they haven't already. I mean, that's a government asset, so how would they be able to sell that, right?
I don't know, but it's for sale. And dude, I would go in there and like start digging, bro. Like, I would go dig up the entire island, knock down the walls. Like, I'm surprised that everything's not tore down on the island already.
Well, for a while, I think it was either Carnival or Disney cruises were actually taking people there, dude.
They were taking people to the island?
Bro, Disney cruise. I'm gonna pull it up right now with receipts, bro. because it's Little Saint James, right? Is that the name of the island?
Oh, bro, you don't even want to get into the conspiracies, the Nickelodeon conspiracies, bro.
Here we go. Here we go, bro. Here we go. This is directly from Oh, it's just it's been debunked, bro.
Oh, it's
Been
the
debunked.
bunks.
Yeah, this is on
Mm.
yahoo.com. It's been debunked. That's embarrassing. But anyway, check this out. Here. Wrong button. I'm gonna share this with you here real quick. All right, so there. A fact check, right? Snopes. Out of all the people, like, who can we really trust nowadays, especially with this whole thing? Because at first it was a big, and I've talked about the blackmail magic before, where the actual information that is dangerous is the information that you have on somebody else, right? In reality, because when I on my show I talk about the occult and the esoteric a lot. It's a lot of woo woo bullshit, right? And I can't prove it to you. I can't prove to you if the ghosts are real or the homuncular are real. Like, I can't prove any of that to you. But what I can prove to you is that the real world information, the information that you're able to use in the real world, by the real world I'm talking about like day to day, right, to exert power over somebody else. That's the real occult, in my information, and in my opinion, the dangerous information. Like, you walked in on, ex political figure or something doing something that they weren't supposed to do, which is, that's the whole Epstein, that's what it's all about, right? Like, that was the whole thing behind it, where they had a blackmail operation going, and they had people by the schlong, right? By the Conor McGregor schlong. So allegedly, when I saw this, and I don't believe that it's fake, I think it's probably real, because I know of certain esoteric researchers who aren't with us anymore. Okay, I'm not going to say any names because the walls have eyes and they have ears. But there was a certain esoteric scholar, I'm sure people know who I'm talking about, who was looking into these connections, right? Because Disney and this island, but allegedly it was, right, these excursions were taking people to the island. But of course, this is the claim: Disney cruises send or have sent children to the private island of convicted offender Old Jeffrey. In late 2023, viral posts on Twitter re-energized a long-standing claim that Disney, via the cruise lines, had been sending kids to Epstein's island for snorkeling trips. And of course, it's this guy, which I know I've seen a bunch of stuff about this guy in particular, because it always seems like whoever has any traction in this community is some sort of psyop or CIA informant. I mean, I'm sure you've ran into it, right? Or whether you've been called an agent, and I have too, right? But this guy posted it, and I could have swore when I first looked this up, when I had heard about it, it was true. But hey, apparently it's not. So who do you want to believe? The people who told you there were files at first, and then they flip flop and tell you that there aren't any files now, right? There's no such.
Well,
What's next? Epstein wasn't even real.
yeah, I mean, several people have talked about the files. I mean, even Trump on Lex Friedman, I made a short video out of it where he was talking about the files. Like, Lex Friedman asked him, people are kind of upset that the Epstein client list has not yet been released. And Trump was like, yeah, I would definitely do the Epstein thing. I have no objection to doing the Epstein thing. And then JD Vance too was talking, I think it was in like 2022 or something like that, like tweeting about the Epstein client list. And now magically there is no Epstein client list. It's a giant cover up. It's the same exact cover up that J. Edgar Hoover was doing for the mob, right? J. Edgar Hoover famously came out and said, there is no mob, right? Don't you worry about the mob. There is no mob going on. But he was paid off by the mob, right? To cover up that there was no mob. And then this also goes back to like Meyer Lansky and Operation Midnight Climax and the MK Ultra operation as well. I mean, that whole thing tracks back to that. That it wasn't that they were drugging these political figures to make them do things. Well, I mean, that was a part of it. in Operation Midnight Climax, but it also was a blackmail operation. Okay, so they were getting prostitutes to sleep with these high up political figures, and then they were filming them through a two-way mirror in the act with a prostitute. So it doubled as a blackmail and an information operation. So it had many tentacles. It was not only to see if they could get one of these high up government people or a high up person in a corporation to spill the beans on what's going on and give people classified information, regardless if they're prostitutes or not, to see if they would speak about it, like a Project Veritas type of thing. But it was also a blackmail operation as well, because they were filming the entire thing through a two-way mirror. That's what Operation Midnight Climax was. So
And
it's
that's
like,
what we know of, right? Like, imagine the
yeah,
stuff that like McUltra is, and the origin story of that whole thing, where it was like, hey, there was these files in this room that nobody had ever touched, and once we started digging through them, what's all this, right? Like that whole, I don't buy that whole thing. And you get that over and over again with like a lot of documents throughout history, like, oh, we started burning some things that we found in this old cabinet. It turns out it was like John Dee's old manuscripts, right, revealing all his whole history. So that's the stuff that we heard of, like, as far as like, I'm using McUltra as an example, right? Imagine the stuff that we haven't heard of, right? And what's interesting to me with this whole thing, because it's been a topic for a long time now, because Epstein was in Florida, right, for a very long time. Donald Trump in Florida with Mar-a-Lago. South Florida was a hot spot for a lot of these, where a lot of these crimes took place, right? So I'm familiar with it. I've driven by Jeffrey's old home, former home, whatever.
were you on a
And
tour? Were you on a Disney tour?
no, I wasn't on a Disney. I was
Wow.
actually doing a video with Narco Longo. We were visiting Henry Flagler's, I forgot the name of it. It's like the White Mansion or something like that, the White House or something. It's like this huge mansion on the water, and there's a really old tree there, and we were doing a video, and it's right down the road from Epstein's, I think, former house. I don't know. He had just gotten arrested at the time when we were doing that. But what's interesting about this whole thing is we've been talking about it for a long time. And remember recently when the whole Elon Trump fallout happened, when he tweeted, oh, the whole reason that they haven't put the files out is because he's in them. And it makes you think now, because of this whole flip flop, where now, you got Daddy Trump like talking like, oh, why are you guys desecrating Epstein? You guys keep bringing him up, right? Like, you guys keep talking, like, forget about him. It's like, whoa, dude. Are we gonna forget what Elon had said when you guys had like this fallout? When he had a Freudian slip or something, or he got a hold of his cell phone and tweeted something out, and then went back on it. Was like, oh, actually, I didn't mean what I said about him. And it's like, now with what they're doing, their actions. This is why conspiracies exist, bro, because they do weird shit like this, where they're on one side of the fence one day, and then they flip completely to the opposite end, and people aren't falling for this shit anymore, bro. People aren't like believing their bullshit anymore. But what's gonna happen to them? Like, what are we gonna do with this information? You get what I'm saying? Like, what are we supposed to do?
Well, the only thing that you really can do is just not stop talking about it until something is done about it. But then that gets really tiring as well. I mean, it seems like what happened was that Trump was all in on this, and he said that he never went to Epstein Island. That's another part of the Lex Friedman interview when he was on Lex's show in the end of 2024 before the election. He said that he never went to Epstein's Island. None of that. Now, I have no idea if that's true. You have the whole thing with Elon and the beef, and then Elon tweeting, which everyone has kind of forgotten about because Elon deleted the tweet. You can't even find the tweeting. I mean, you can find the screenshots of it, but it's no longer on Elon's page anymore. So, what it seems like to me is exactly what happened with the director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, back in the day.
What year was that?
When he was like, okay, whenever he's asked questions about the mob or whatever, he's like, there is no mob. When the public blatantly knows that there is a mob that's running the show, okay, because he was paid off by the mob to cover up the mob's actions, okay. So that's what it seems like is going on here with this Epstein thing, okay. they're like, okay, yeah, there is a list. I'm going to look into it whenever I become president. Lex Friedman, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look into it. I have no problem releasing the files because I never went to the island. Okay, I'm not in the client list. Okay, so what it seems like is someone paid, either threatened Trump, threatened the Trump administration, threatened Trump's family. Something happened, and now they're doing a complete 180 on it, and they're doing the exact same thing that J. Edgar Hoover did with the mob, and they're like, oh, there is no list, right? No list, no files. Epstein killed himself. End of discussion. And then you get that whole interaction where the reporter was asking Trump about the Epstein, and then he's like, "You're still talking about Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Yeah.
You gotta let this thing go."
Bro, we're still talking about JFK till this day. I mean, that's never gonna die down, right? Because how stupid do they think the normal person is? And by the way, whatever happened to the whole Israel and Iran thing that was happening, it felt like that got shut down overnight. Everyone was freaking out about that, and then out of nowhere, I haven't heard anything else.
Well, like, then not only that, the whole Elon thing was then covered up by the LA riots. The LA riots literally happened the next day, dude, after Elon made that tweet about Trump being in the Epstein files. The LA riots happened. That whole thing gets pushed aside, and then the bombing of Iran. So it was just like one thing after another thing, and then everyone's thinking, "Oh, world war," which I 100% believe something is coming in the future. It has to. We have to go into another major conflict. There hasn't been a period of time in the United States longer than, I don't know, 5 to 10 years that the United States has not been involved in a war.
Yeah, war is money, bro. I mean, that's the whole thing about it. Like, that's what they bankroll on that, dude. I mean, they make so much money off of the arms and all the technology allegedly that they use and the bombs and everything, bro. I mean, that's what it's all really about. But it's like these people who are in power, a lot of times you give them more credit than they're due, because if they are so powerful and smart, it's like, why do they do all this dumb shit where you can obviously see a line? Because wasn't there a Mossad connection with JFK? Because I know people talk about Epstein being Mossad a lot.
Well, that's what that reporter was asking Trump in the panel there. Hold on, let me see. I think I have the video here somewhere.
And do you think that he's actually dead, or do you think he got swapped out? Because that's another conspiracy that's been rolling around.
Well, that's the thing, is the video was released, but there's a minute missing from the video. Okay, here's the video.
People looked up the metadata, and it was edited by like Premiere Pro or some shit, like Adobe software. Like they come on, man. Like they really thought people were just gonna be like, huh? And some people are, is the thing. Like there are a lot of people who are just like, oh, I guess they said he didn't. There was no list, and he didn't kill him. And he did kill himself. All right, moving on. You know, like some people are like believing this shit, and they're 100% on board with it. But there's a lot of other people who aren't. And I think, you know, somebody mentioned in the comments earlier about dividing the MAGA party, and it might be for that. Like it might be, but he is playing the part. Like Trump is playing the part because he's obviously going along with whatever somebody else told him, right? Because for how long was it like a list, right? And the little black book and all this other shit and all the pictures of them together and the whole Prince. And I remember there was a interview that they were doing of Trump where he was like insinuating that Clinton was involved and the Prince was involved, and he was like, yeah, very bad things. They did very bad crimes, whatever it was that he said. And it was before he became president. You know, he was talking about it, and then all of a sudden, nope. You got the FBI guys resignating too, like resigning, not resignating, resigning. You see that? Like the FBI is falling apart.
Well, I mean, here's the whole thing. Like I can see it from Trump's perspective too. He's trying to run the entire freaking country, bro. But that doesn't excuse his actions and his handling of this whole Epstein thing. Like in the video that we're getting ready to see, like he did not handle that smoothly at all. He was like, why are you still talking about Epstein? But I also get it from his perspective. He's trying to run an entire freaking country and take care of world matters and people's lives are essentially at stake here, and he feels like he's getting hounded by this Epstein stuff, which is it is a really big deal. But I also see it from his perspective as well. I mean, it's not like that he's solely focused on Epstein. Like that's his only mission is to reveal the Epstein files. You know what I mean? So it's like this dude has a lot of stuff that's going on that he's dealing with from a bunch of different angles. So I can understand his frustration. It's just not, and it was not handled properly. Here's the video.
Is it the tornado siren? It left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure. If I could.
Okay, so the question he's basically asking is if Epstein was working for Mossad or if he was working for an intelligence three-letter organization.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what.
At a time like this one, I cannot believe you're asking a question like that, bro.
Well, Spacey is saying, right, to be honest, I can see why he was annoyed about it in this meeting. Okay, right, the time, maybe they're talking, what were they originally talking about?
I'm honestly not sure. I didn't listen to the whole entire briefing. That would probably be like a freaking hour of my time.
Yeah, well, they were probably talking about something else, and this guy comes out of left field, right, and asks him that. That could have been it. But either way, like, they still, the problem is they haven't addressed it, like, truly addressed it. They've now with this whole thing, like, oh yeah, just forget about it. And there was actually no Jeffrey Epstein at all. That's like the next thing, right? Like he didn't even exist. He's a figment of our imagination. And it'd be crazy if they pulled like some Mandela effect. How crazy would that be, bro? They like did something to where some people remembered him and some people didn't. That'd be wild. But anyways, I could see why he would be annoyed. So I'll give him that. But still, I mean, people want answers, and I don't think that people are just gonna lay down and there's really not much people can do. At the end of the day, let's be real. What are people going to actually do if the government doesn't disclose whatever? I mean, we're still fighting again about JFK. How many years? I mean, you've done a whole bunch of research into the topic. Can you say till this day, is there anything solid on JFK? Like till this day, without speculation, like 100%, like this is what happened? No. Right? And that's why there's a conspiracy around it. Again, there's multiple theories as to what could have happened, right? And different connections here and there. Was Oswald the lone gunman? Was he not? Was he a controlled op? Was he not? But we still don't know till this day. And I think that this whole Epstein thing is going to be the same thing. They're just going to let it happen. And maybe 50 years from now, bro, in the future, when we have flying cars and shit, people are going to be like, and the Epstein files are finally going to get released, right? Like, who knows? Because how long has it been since JFK? What is that? 40? What year was JFK?
It's like 60 years ago, bro.
63, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, right. November 22nd, 1963. And we still don't know what happened. And dude, I thought I interviewed that one guy I told you about with the whole JFK thing. And I brought up aliens because I was just being stupid. I'm like, oh, did the aliens kill? Apparently, like some people believe that, right? That aliens killed JFK.
Yeah, that comes from what's his name that made that stupid ass documentary about it.
Oh, there's a documentary on it?
Well, sort of. There's like a connection to like Area 51 and that JFK had sex with an alien or something and got the alien pregnant or whatever, and they had to kill him because he got an alien pregnant. It's just.
It was a show though, right? Like a show?
Wacky nonsense. Well, that was also a part of the American Horror Story, like 10th season or something like that.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know, dude. And like I saw recently the whole the Texas stuff that's going down. Today here in Florida, we have flash flooding too, and a lot of people are, HARP, right? Blue rain. There's like blue rain in some places, so people are talking about cloud seeding and things of this nature. But I don't know. Where do you see all this going, bro? Like, are we ever gonna come to the bottom of it? Are we is are just gonna kick the can down the road? Like, what do you?
I think that the government loves conspiracies. I think that's what's going on. I think that they are the ones that fuel them. They're the ones that put them out.
You think they do it on purpose?
100%. 100%. I mean, you see that with the UFO stuff. They were literally responsible for all that. The last show, didn't we do a show on this last time?
What did we talk about last time? I don't remember.
About the Pentagon planting fake UFO.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. But you
I feel
see,
like it's just them messing with our heads. So we do videos like this, and then everyone can be in the chat and have all their opinions, and then it becomes like a big thing, and then that covers up any kind of real truth that's actually could be plucked from anything, because everyone already has their own opinion. It's confusion 101, right? It's how to demoralize, destabilize, crisis, and then normalization, right?
and that's why I don't believe in voting, bro. Like, I know it's cliche to say like, oh, because it's all right. If voting mattered, they wouldn't let you do it. And not in that sense, but like things will continue to happen regardless of what the people decide, right? And everything else is just theater. All the shit that they put out is just theater to entertain the masses and just dumb people out. Because if you're constantly pumping out conspiracies such as this, because this is a big one, right? Because we've been talking about for a long time, it only makes people lose faith in these governmental agencies even further. So if anything, this would discourage people from voting for any in my opinion, right? What you think I'm right on that assumption that this would discourage people from interacting more with the government, because obviously the government doesn't have the best interest of that person in mind when it comes to anything else. If you don't matter to them because of this, what else don't I matter to them about? You get what I'm saying? Are they just leeching taxes off of me every single paycheck for no reason? Where are my tax dollars even going? Like, where are they going? And who are we in debt to? Like, all this money that we're in debt, like, who do we owe the money to? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's so many other things. And I think that conspiracies, if anything, take people away from the government and their
They
trust
do,
in.
but the problem is, Juan, is that what are they going to do about it, right? You only see it in like movies, right?
Yeah.
Like V for Vendetta, where they
Fight
rise
Club.
up and they fight back against the bad guys, like physically. They take down the government. You know what I mean? You only see that in movies. It's never going to happen in real life, because nobody can be organized on that type of level. And then there's too many people with too many different opinions on what should be happening and what shouldn't be happening, right? Because we've all been divided. No one can agree upon anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you put out a video, there's 10 different comments of different people saying different things, and none of them ever agree with each other. You know, you can't get anybody ever on the same page, because there's always that person. It's like, oh, well, no, it's this. Oh, no, it's that. Oh, no, it's blah, 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 blah. And that's the confusion part of this whole thing. See, if you get everyone confused, then you have them exactly where you want them. And that's why there's so many conspiracies, so that no one can ever be on the same page about anything, so that they can't organize, so they can't come together and do anything about all this stuff. They have the people right where they want them, sitting at their house, talking about it online, posting a few status updates, being in the chat, throwing a few comments out there, upset like they know exactly what's going on.
And that's it.
But nothing is ever going to happen.
Yeah. And that's mainly like part of the reason why I stopped like really researching a lot of shit. Because I find history cool, right? I think history is awesome. But it's like, what do you yes, you can learn about history, but what are you going to do now to like alchemy, right? If you look into alchemy, like how is that going to help me in today's standard? Like what am I going to do with that information you get? Like I find it super interesting. It's super super interesting to learn about. But then what? How you're saying, like what are you going to do with the information they just gave you? They're like spitting in your face and they know you can't do anything about it. But then if people were to actually do something about it, bro, because they say that right, empires last only what, like 300, 400 years or something, right? And they're saying that the United States is, creeping up on that number, and it's fixing to fall soon. Like, do you think that I'm not gonna say that on YouTube, but whatever. The whole concept of how you're saying organizing a group to like get back at the man, right? Would that ever even happen here in the
No,
US?
it would never happen because they wouldn't allow it to happen. They would never allow that type of grassroots thing to ever happen. Now they'll allow it to happen around their agenda,
Mm-hmm. Like
like the
some George Soros shit.
George Floyd situation, right? That was all organized and orchestrated. Let's just put some bricks out here. Let's get a few people, throw some bricks through the window, and then chaos will just ensue. And then we have to let them. Then we have to let them do it because they're mad, right? But what we should have been mad about was the lockdowns, right? We should have been mad about the mask stuff. We should have been mad about the taking away of our rights. That's what we should have been protesting about, but instead they flipped it and turned it into something that wasn't even related to the thing that we should be mad about.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Because the immigration rights, that's died down too, right? Like they've got that under control now. Because that was real big for what, 3-4 days.
And if you noticed some things too, like the type of like word association that's being like thrown around right now, I just recognized this one the other day. Like I was watching The Office because I like to watch rewatch The Office a lot.
The Office?
Yeah, The Office, bro. The show The Office, Steve
Oh, I
Carell.
love The Office. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I was watching it, and Phyllis's husband, Bob Vance.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration. Hi, my name's Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration. Okay, how many people have like heard that? They've heard that like for years, and that's the only thing that you've ever heard that guy say. And then it's like kind of like a coincidence. People that don't even really know The Office know that phrase because it's like super silly and stupid and like funny that he's saying the title and his profession as like an advertising for whenever he meets new people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a vice president called JD Vance. And so like the word association and the familiarity of somebody named Vance.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that like all the time with like certain things. This is a very long game. They're playing a very, very long game. And right now a lot of the television is like talking about like war. They're throwing out war a lot. They're like, this is war, like in like trailers and reality TV stuff and for commercials and stuff like that's revolving around like reality TV games. Like this is war. This is World War III, right? They're priming people for hearing those types of words in the future, right? It's a word association. It's word magic, like what I've been talking about for a really long time. They say things to prime you for something that's going to happen in the future. So therefore, the thing that happens in the future, you're not completely 100% caught off guard with. The people call that like, they say, oh, it's a predictive programming for the thing that's going to happen. Well, it's not so much that they're going to do the thing that they're showing like verbatim, but sometimes it does line up like that. But it's actually to ease you into the event that's going to happen because you've already associated it in your mind. You've already seen it happen on the screen, or you've already heard the phrases or the words that have been used before. So it triggers your mind into something familiar. And people do this all the time, even within the community, right? They'll regurgitate a bunch of things that have already been established within the community, and then they mix it together with some things that are kind of new. So then when people hear the things that are familiar with them, they then remember that thing and they think, oh, well, this has got to be legitimate because I've heard this before, but I don't know exactly where I heard it before or who I even heard it from because I can't remember because there's so much information coming at me 24/7. I'm in an information overload, but this sounds familiar. This must be right. You know, it's a technique. It's a word association technique.
Well, it's that, and also it's people, right? We talk about manipulating reality, but you can manipulate your own reality to a certain extent. And by reality, I'm talking about like your day-to-day life, your inner mythos, if you will, where a lot of these people who interact with this information, these theories, they live it, right? They like eat, breathe, shit these ideas and things, and so they start to make up their own mythos, and that's where they start to drag in a whole bunch of other things into it to solidify it even further, right? You see this time and time again with like flat earth and Tartaria being one and the same, and then the little season all together with Tartaria and flat earth because they're the old saints are in the center, the center, inside wherever north is like that. I've seen that shit over and over again, right? So it's more of like creating your own mythos and for your own self, right? But when you start talking about it, you start to spread it to other people, and that to me, that's why these people are so powerful and dangerous, because I've always said this, right? Mimetics, which a meme, and I'm not talking about the meme that you see on the internet. Like a meme is the smallest form of right information, and they're taking memes information and injecting it. And what happens, when they talk about culture, when you inject a culture, right, you're cultivating a culture, right? They do the same thing with information. They can take how you're saying, any conspiracy or any other thing, which wasn't conspiracy theorists coined during the whole JFK thing by the
Yeah.
CIA to discredit people.
Yeah.
That was something that they made up, and then it's become its own culture of people, truth seekers, people who want to know the real and it's a whole living, breathing organism on its own.
It's an industry, bro, is what it is.
It's a homunculus. It's an industry. Yeah, 100%, bro. It's like they created it and they're just constantly injecting different things into it to cultivate it even more, right? And it's just overflowing at this point with so much bullshit that you've lost the true real information. And I think that was the goal, right? Like on this whole topic of things, that is the goal, to have so much informational overload that people can't choose. And then that's what it comes into, what you were saying, that this guy says this and there's 9 other comments that say 9 other different things. They've already won, right? Because people can't come to an agreement on one fucking subject.
That's right. And then it's just going to get even worse with these AI bots and these AI people that are literally taking an entire, they can persuade an entire conversation and manipulate an entire group of people. So, I mean, that's already been done. Like, Hidden Hand is saying here, if you say something to someone, then repeat it verbally, that is 4 voices, yours outwardly and their own inner voice drumming it on as well, is programming. And that is exactly right. When people say the same thing over and over and over again, it gets programmed into their head, regardless if it's real or not. It's exactly like the show that we've done several episodes on, the Apple TV Plus, Severance, right?
Yeah.
Where if they were acting up, they would be taken into a room and then they would be forced to read the same sentence over and over and over again for hours, sometimes days, over and over and over again, right? That's the whole thing. That is a part of the programming. That's psychic driving. That's putting something into your head to make you believe, regardless if it's real or true or factual or not, you believe it individually. So if you believe it individually, then it's real to you.
Exactly.
And that's all that they want. They want people believing all kinds of different stuff so that no one can ever be on the same page and no one can ever come together. I mean, that's been the whole goal of all this stuff from the very beginning.
Like the whole thing with Israel, right? where they don't want the other country to have what is it? What was the key word that they were using, which was very similar to weapons of mass destruction?
Chemical weapons.
No, they were talking about like enriched uranium or something or other, but they were like, oh, they can't have the capacity. Then they were using a certain words. I can't think of it right now, but it was very similar. Again, how history repeats itself, where they were trying to get it in the heads of people like, oh, we need to justify this one way or another. Trump was like, yeah, we're not going to do anything. And then boom, overnight, we're going to, if they don't back down, we're going to show them. Right. And then out of nowhere, they're like, yeah, we're sending our guys over there. It's like, dude, in less than 48 hours, you went from not wanting to get involved to sending our own guys over there to do the whole ground penetrating missiles, whatever it was. And then it come to find out that allegedly they had already moved the stuff before they they did the strike over there. So again, it's how you're saying it is a lot of word magic. And, I've talked about that a bunch of on my show, especially because, right, I call them, mimetic magicians for a reason, because they are it is, bro. It is an info war. Like Alex Jones has been right since the beginning. The frogs were being turned gay, right? Let's give them that, like 100%.
Put the stuff in the water to turn the frogs gay.
Hold on, I got you, bro. The frogs were being turned gay. Where the hell's my soundboard? All right, here, I got you.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Everyone made fun of that guy for that. That's a meme. Turns out he was right. He was right. And it is an info war. It is a war about information. Dude, I've talked about it. It's been an information war since the very beginning, right? The book of Genesis, dude. Right, which is what? The tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? So don't eat from that. You can have any other tree, but you can't have from that one tree. So it's always been about information. And even till this day, it's about information. And it goes back to the whole blackmail magic stuff, where what do you have on this other guy that we can use to leverage our position? And we know that they've used the whole midnight climax stuff. They've used that for forever. For a long time. Dude, kings, queens, they've all had spies. Doing what?
Yeah.
Collecting intel and information on other people. William Shakespeare, John Dee, Aleister Crowley, all these guys. It's been about information since forever, bro.
Well, and what the better thing to do is have people just give that information freely, right? Then you get confessional. Then you get freaking the Catholic Church, right? You got to come in and tell the priest all of your sins, right? That was one of the early information collection.
Father, I have sinned.
Right, that's the way that it was done. It's exactly what it was. Like, oh, let me have you come in, give us freely all the information, give us all the dirt, spill all the tea to us on your own free accord. So then we don't even have to have any of these spies. You're just going to come in and tell us all the shit.
I was gooning for 3 hours straight, Father. I have sinned. I was gooning. Can you imagine how many times somebody told that to the freaking priest? He's like, yeah, I was, yeah, I don't even know. Let's ask ChatGPT how you would tell. Oh, will ChatGPT even tell us how to say that you were masturbating in like old terms, like old time talk? How would you say?
Stroking the rod.
When did the church get established? Like the Catholic Church. Let's see.
Long time ago, bro.
Let's see what year. Damn, a long time ago. Or 590. God damn. That's a long time. All right, let's do how do you say I was masturbating in medieval terms as a confessional to a Catholic priest? All right, it's probably not even going to answer me this, but all right, here. All right. Father, I engage in self-stimulation of a sexual nature. I mean, these aren't cool. Father, I gave into the sin of self-abuse. Father, I committed the sin of impurity with myself. Father, I committed the sin of self-abuse. Man, Father, I masturbated. Oh, all right. Anyways, but yeah, dude,
Father,
the
I touched
church.
myself inappropriately.
You know, I was Father. I was stroking the rod and until the chickens came. You know, what? So the whole thing with the church, right? And that's a reason, in my opinion, why they've been in power for so long. Because if you willingly, that's what social media is nowadays, bro. How many people overshare shit on social media that they probably shouldn't share?
All the
A lot
time,
of people.
every day, bro.
Every day, like TMI. Like I've seen people say, like, I woke up and I was pissing blood today. Like, you know, like, bro, nobody needs to know that. You get what I'm saying? Like, nobody needs to know that that's what happened to you this morning, right? So now, how you're saying people are willingly giving information. I was, I was Father. I was gripping it. I was gripping it all day, all night long. So when they're giving information, right? And you don't think that the church used some of the information they got for like blackmail? They can
Absolutely,
see
dude.
you. They can see
Absolutely.
you. You know what I'm saying? Like they can see, they know who you are. They recognize your voice. They see you in church every Sunday or whatever it is. You know, I'm not Catholic, but they see you. They recognize your voice. So 100%, they probably use that information. Be like, hey, it'd be a shame if somebody found out about you gooning day and night. Huh, Ryder? We're kind of short on funds this week. You think you could cough up a little bit more, or your gooning secrets are gonna come to light? Come on, dude. 100%. It's human nature to want to like one up somebody and you know, use it to better your position, right, and get ahead of them.
You know what? And I bet that those screens too. I don't know. I've never been to a confessional. I don't think I've ever.
I've seen it in
even-
movies. That's how I know.
Yeah, I've never even stepped inside of a Catholic church before, but I bet those screens or whatever that they have is like a two-way screen as well. So like you can't see the bishop or the cardinal
They
or
usually have
the
hoods, don't
priest,
they? Like
the
they usually
priest,
get.
but they can see you.
Mm-hmm. 100%, bro. So I think that nowadays the priest is the old Facebook and Twitter and whatever else people are using nowadays, and they just vent all their information on there. And dude, you could even look up someone's information from searching up their IP address or something, right? You can dox somebody easily. So nothing is really hidden, or unless you're completely disconnected from any of this stuff, which it's kind of hard nowadays to do. You know, you're not ever really safe, right? So I agree with you on that. I think that the Catholic Church did, and I mean, look at them till this day, bro. They have their own zip code. Don't they have their own, like, aren't they considered a country? Like the Vatican, isn't that like a country or something, like by itself?
Yeah, I think it's the way that DC is in the United States.
That's wild. That's crazy to me. So, you know, what are we gonna do? Where you think that there's something else is gonna pop off, bro? And you said they're conditioning us with all these movies. Have you seen 28 Years Later yet?
No, I haven't. But it's, speaking of a big schlong, bro,
Speaking of gooning,
big old Juan up in there.
is
bro.
that what they're prepping us for, Ryder? For the zombies with the huge schlongs, just
Think
running
that-
at you like a quarterback, just boom, boom, just swinging in the wind as he's coming at you, bro? Like, can you imagine how terrifying, right? The evolution of zombies, which, by the way, evolved from voodoo zombies in Haiti. That's where they first talked about the zombie, right? In the movie White Zombie and all this stuff. I've done the research on the history of the zombie.
Oh, I'm
You know,
glad you have, because I haven't.
that all started there. But the evolution of zombies, right? Where they used to be like real slow and shit. Like, oh, you can't catch me. And now it's like they're sprinting at you full force with the biggest schlong you've ever seen, dude. That is terrifying. If I was to encounter a zombie with a huge schlong coming at me. What if they used it too, bro? That'd be crazy. Can you imagine?
I've heard really mixed reviews about the new movie. I haven't watched it. I'm just waiting for it to come on Max. I'm just gonna watch it on Max.
Yeah, there's a cam version on the website that I use, and it was actually looked pretty good for it being like recorded on a camera. I was gonna watch it. I started it, but I haven't finished it. But I haven't gotten to the part with the huge zombie wieners. I was wondering if you had seen it yet or not. Have you
but
watched any new shows?
No, I haven't. I've been really focused on writing this new documentary that I'm getting ready to start filming. But no, I haven't really watched any. I started watching the new Dexter Resurrection.
There's a new one?
Yeah. Dexter Resurrection, baby.
Huh.
He's back to life again.
I haven't seen. I'll have to check this out. But yeah, I do have to watch From still, bro. So I'll watch that for the next episode that we do, or maybe we can do a standalone episode on like season 1 or something.
Oh, dude, we need to do a whole episode for season 1, season 2, and season 3.
Yeah, so I'll watch that. But yeah, I don't think I've seen any other movies. I'll finish the new 28 years later and report back, dude, what I find out about the zombies with the huge things on them. Got that thing on them.
The new Dexter is really good.
Isn't it like he's a kid, right?
No, that's the prequel. The prequel is really good too. I really enjoyed it as well. But no, the new one is a sequel to New Blood. So there's the Dexter, and then Dexter New Blood, and then Dexter Resurrection. This one revolves around his kid in New York. Yeah. It's really good. I'm looking forward. It's got Uma Thurman in it. Uma's back, baby. She's back. It's got Peter Dinklage in it, though I haven't seen Peter Dinklage yet, but he is in it. So the first 2 episodes have been released. The rest is going to be on a weekly schedule, but they did it right, dude. They did it right. They released it 2 episodes from the jump, like they should have done with The Last of Us. But it was garbage, dude. The Last of Us was such...
It went too woke, bro.
Horrible, dude. Horrible. All right, let's finish this Pam Bondi freaking Trump video.
It happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the jail.
Oh, okay. So what I meant was, this is what I really meant. I know I said something completely different.
There was no desk. I don't know what you're talking about. You see how they do that shit, bro? Like, that is so slimy. And they're like blatantly lying to people. Remember the whole social media influencers that they had, or whoever they were, with the binders, and they were taking pictures and all this shit. You remember that?
Yeah,
they're making a huge deal about it.
Yeah, she gave the files to a bunch of social media influencers that looked like that they were all tied to Israel and Mossad intelligence.
Which I believe that 100%. And it seems like the more, listen, dude, I'm not antiseptic, okay? But the more you look into things, the more it starts to make sense. That's all I'm saying. All right. And you start to see a reoccurring theme behind the scenes, okay? And it's usually the same group orchestrating certain things. That's all I'm going to say. All right. I'm not, I hate everyone equally. I just want you to know that. All right.
MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
But he didn't ask about the child porn. This question was about, did Jeffrey Epstein work for intelligence? And she's bringing up child porn.
Which, who's to say he didn't produce it himself? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Should that not be investigated?
Yeah, downloaded. Yeah, he downloaded it. He got it off of LimeWire, bro. Right? He downloaded. You remember LimeWire? Dude, that gave my computer AIDS. One time, dude, I remember I downloaded. No, I'm not gonna say. I downloaded like it was like a gore video. It wasn't supposed to be in what I was downloading, but it appeared. But yeah, I remember LimeWire, dude. I wonder why they shut LimeWire down.
Well, they shut it down and then they turned it into FrostWire, and then after FrostWire, it got completely shut down, and then that's when Pirate Bay became like the hub for all of it, and then Pirate Bay got shut down, and then another website, and then another website. It's like once one got shut down, everyone just migrated to the next one that was basically doing the exact same thing. But Pirate Bay was mostly for like movies and TV shows and stuff, not so much music. But if you wanted music, bro, it was LimeWire, dude. You could freaking download whatever you wanted from LimeWire.
You know, my dad asked me the other day, he was like, is there something that I can buy that will hold all my music like an iPod? And I'm like, bro, just buy a subscription to Spotify. Like, he's like, but I want to be able to listen to it even if I'm not connected to the internet. I'm like, you
can download it, bro.
You can download it, but you got to just get your library together and you know, download all the songs and everything. But yeah, my dad, bro, asked me the other day, he's like, can I get, is there do they make iPods anymore?
That's crazy, bro. I mean,
I'm asking the hard questions, bro. They don't make iPods anymore. They suspended them in May of 2022. Damn, bro. No more iPods. Who's thought about that? Like, when was the last time you were like, hey, whatever happened to iPods? No one's asking those questions. That's why people have to tune into this show, bro, because we ask the hard questions. What happened to iPods?
Bro, I just seen someone on Marketplace earlier before the show selling a bunch of old iPods for like $50. Yeah, like 10 of them.
I wonder if they still work, though.
He said that they worked, but you got to trust them marketplace hustlers, bro, and marketplace gooners, dude. They'll be out there selling you all kinds of things.
Look, I still use my iPod Classic.
They'll be selling you detergent on Marketplace, bro.
Yeah, your phone does everything. Stop asking. I know, like my phone listens to me. It knows exactly what I'm thinking at some points, and like it's crazy how many times have you thought about something, bro, and it just shows up in your ads. It's the craziest thing, right? We're getting to a very, you know, this whole singularity thing where it's going to be a very symbiotic relationship with we don't go anywhere now with our phones, right? So it's like soon enough, they're going to be in our butts and people aren't even going to bat an eye. Like, they're just going to be like, right, fine. The iPod 17th gen goes right into your crevice. Put it in there. You get all the music you could ever want, bro. Would you do it, Ryder?
No, bro, because I don't care about music that much to be able to want to integrate
your favorite shows, bro.
No, I do not care about it that much. But there are those. What are those sunglasses that Mark Zuckerberg is doing now? I think he's doing the Ray-Bans. He's got the Ray-Ban glasses that records video. And then he's got I think he's doing one with Oakley right now too, where he's doing the same thing that he was doing with Ray-Ban, but with Oakley's as well.
Oakley Meta glasses, so they are what? They have a camera on them. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, AI, Meta AI. Wow. Okay, capture photos and video, play music, and get answers with Meta AI. AI, why can't I stop gooning so much? Right? Like, you're gonna start asking. AI, please go to goontube.org. I'm trying to, or you're on the bus, on an airplane, goon anywhere. That should be their like slogan to sell this shit. You can goon anywhere you are in the world, even in offline mode. So capture photos and video, play music, and get answers right from your glasses. That's crazy, bro. Only $500.
Elon Musk is talking about integrating Grok into the Teslas now. So now Teslas are going to be Grok-inspired AI within the Tesla. So it's getting weird, dude.
It is getting weird, dude. Did you see the whole anime thing that he put out with Grok, the companion, where it's like a girl dancing? You saw that?
Is that the one that's going to cost like $1,000, $100 subscription or something
like that? Yeah, for the gooners. Yeah.
For the gooners. All right, let's finish this. Let's finish up this video.
To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. and the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the
part that we left out was conclusive, but you can't see that part.
Yeah.
evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999.
So they're using an old ass video system in this prison to film, and there's a minute that is missing from that specific camera every single night since 1999, bro.
Oh, isn't that like one of the top most secured prisons like in the United States? Isn't it like one of the top level prisons?
Bro, what are they doing? So they've been letting a camera run every single night for almost 20 years that has a minute missing out of the footage every single night. Dude, is that not a defective? Would you, if you knew that, would you not be like, oh, we need to get that fixed? We need to get that fixed immediately. Bring in the freaking whole crew. Bring the geniuses from Best Buy or the freaking people from Apple or whatever, bro. Let's get this, the IT guy, get him in here and fix this shit, bro. Like, what are you doing? And why are you using a camera system from 1999, bro?
Hey, bro, you can't ask questions, bro. That's it. He killed himself. Move on. Stop talking about him. That's it. It's a done, wrapped deal, Ryder. All right.
Every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
So what she's saying there, I don't know if people caught that, but what she's saying is that they're going to go through all of the other footage from every day of these, from the prison video, to confirm that every single night there's a minute missing of footage, and that's going to prove that they didn't edit the footage. So how they're going to prove it is that they're going to have to release all this other, but they're going to have to release 20 years of prison footage showing that there's a minute missing every single night for the past 20 years.
Yeah, it's the most retarded thing I've ever heard, bro. It's ridiculous. And, you know, they're going to keep lying to us. People aren't, you know, this will blow over eventually, and they'll move on to the next thing. I wonder who we're going to get for candidates for the next election. All right. And what a shit show that's going to be. Can you imagine? Like, who are the next two people who are going to be running for president? Do we have any idea?
For sure. We have no idea on the Democrat side. Who knows? Maybe Michelle Obama, but people have been saying Michelle Obama for freaking 10
For a long
years.
time. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but they don't have any candidates. Like the Democrat side does not have any candidates. Now, if we're basing this off of that movie that came out, what was that movie where it was like a civil? Oh, it's called Civil War. The movie Civil
The
War.
one continuous shot one?
I don't think it was the one continuous shot one, but it was called Civil War. I think it was out on Netflix a while ago. It was like a big release. A24 produced.
Yeah, it was shot. So Civil War 2024. I believe this is the one where it's follows a team of war journalists traveling from New York City to Washington, D.C. during a civil war. Oh, this is like current time Civil War.
Yeah. So it follows these two journalists that are like taking pictures of like the Civil War or whatever. But what's interesting about it is that the reason that there's this big civil war is because the president tried to overrule some kind of thing to serve out another term. So the whole thing is that he is on his third term as president.
Well, somebody said earlier Trump is the last president. That was the whole conspiracy with, right, the inner Baron Trump and the Marvelous Adventures or whatever the name of that book is, where it's got Olaf Pence as one of the people, and a guy who resembles Trump being the last president, and then the whole thing with Barron looking like, and the drawing in the book looking like Barron Trump, which is he's huge now, bro. He's Nephilim, bro. He's like 30 feet tall.
So that could be a possibility that something happens and something gets suspended. We're in like a wartime effort. They're not able to do an election, and then Trump gets some kind of third term. Now, I'm not saying that that's fact. That's just 100% a theory, but could be plausible. I mean, based off of that Civil War movie, who knows? Could be possible. I mean, they were kind of already talking about that with Biden and Kamala Harris, that they were going to get us into some kind of big war, and that there wasn't going to be an election, and that they were going to suspend the election, and Kamala was going to be a president for a period of time, and then blah 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 blah. I don't know,
Bro, check this out, dude. So this movie, by the way, I think A24 movies are cursed. I want to do an episode on that. They've done Hereditary. They've done Y2K, I think, like one of the recent ones, which was super nutty and weird.
You didn't like it, bro? It had freaking the Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit in it, bro. Come on,
That
dude.
movie was so nutty, bro. That's one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen. But check this out. Alexander Medawar Garland, the guy who directed and wrote this movie, Civil War by A24. Check this out, bro. Is an English author, screenwriter, and director. He rose to prominence with his novel The Beach, 1996. He received praise for writing the Danny Boyle's films 28 days later, and its sequel 28 years later. This is the zombie schlong guy, bro. The guy writing about the Civil War happening in our times. A24 film director.
Bro, they want to hit us with the schlongs, bro. Is there?
Illuminati confirmed.
We got him, boys.
Got him, dude. Yeah. I liked Y2K. I thought it was a fun.
Thought it was fucking horrible, bro.
What, you didn't like? It was a stupid shut off your brain and just watch this shit type of movie.
He was a story supervisor on Devil May Cry, 2013 DMC Devil May Cry.
That's an animated movie or the video game. Which one?
The video game, yeah. Ex Machina. He's directorial debut when he wrote and directed the sci-fi thriller Ex Machina, bro. This dude's been in some shit. Annihilation, Warfare, Civil War. This guy's been in some stuff, bro.
Annihilation with Natalie Portman.
Yeah, that's a great movie too.
Really good movie. Loved it.
Yeah. Anyways, we got him. We got him, boys.
We got him. One more thing before we go. We got this. Share screen. Let me get this back up here. Okay, so Trump's DOJ says that the EPA will appeal landmark fluoride ruling. The decision to appeal came from the general at the DOJ, who reports that Pam Bondi and the White House. In February, a federal judge ruled against the EPA, concluding that water fluoridization of current levels poses an unreasonable risk to children's health, and ordering the EPA to address the issue. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, plans to appeal the decision last year by a federal court, ordering that the agency address the risk of water fluoridization, led attorney plaintiffs in the lawsuit, rather than use the court's decision and opportunity to finally end water fluoridization, as most of Europe has already done. The EPA will spend its time legally challenging the court's order. Okay, so
you got to stay asleep, bro. They want that pineal gland calcified. They want you not asking any questions. That's it, dude.
Yep. So they're the one good thing that was supposed to come out of all this stuff, which was the ending of fluoride in all drinking water in the United States, which was done by the federal judge in the Supreme Court, is now going to be appealed, which means that it will at least be held up by 2 to 3 years. And then it might not even happen at all.
Yep. Got to keep it coming, dude. Keep it moving.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It seems like all the things that people essentially voted for have
Hey, you can't say that. You can't say that. You're not allowed to say that part.
not really come to pass.
Almost as if the president has no power and there's people in the background pulling strings on stuff, right?
You could say that, bro. You could say that.
I mean, what do I know, dude?
I'm still waiting on the RFK files and the Martin Luther King Jr. files, bro. But that was a promise that hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
Why didn't they do those? Why didn't they release those along with the JFK files? That would have been a very easy thing to do. Dump it all at one time.
Yeah, just keep waiting, bro. I'm sure they'll come out soon.
No, I'm just gonna sit back and keep trusting the plan, bro. Everything will be all right.
Yeah, trust the plan. Yeah, trust the plan.
All right, Juan, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you coming on. We'll do it again next month, and let the people know where they can find you if they are listening on my channel.
www.tjojp.com. Find me on there. Yeah, dude, this was fun. We'll do it again next month.
And if you're listening on Juan's channel, you can find me on Raised by Giants on YouTube and any and all podcast platforms, on X and Instagram and on Facebook. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you guys next time. Juan's links is in the description along with my links as well. Bye-bye.